I'm Todd Powell with Vacations by Rail. I'm in Berlin, Germany today with Bernd. He's a local host with Monograms, and he's someone who may meet you in Berlin when you book your vacation through Vacations by Rail. He's lived in Berlin all his life, and he's going to tell you when he meets you here what to see in the city, what to do, and make that transition from the train station to your hotel to your holiday as simple and smooth and enjoyable as possible. Bernd, thanks for joining us. What's it like to be a local host in Berlin?
I love it because I find Berlin one of the most fascinating cities in the world because of our political background and history.
You've lived in Berlin all of your life, right?
Right.
So how is that? How has it changed? It must have changed dramatically in your lifetime.
Well, it's a completely different city altogether. Before we were divided for 28 years. We had a very ugly monument going right through our city, the Berlin Wall. And that has disappeared now. So we are one city again, and we have really grown together now. When you look at this square here, that was completely empty. It was completely destroyed during the war, and now everything is new. Over there's American Embassy, French Embassy, Hotel Adlon, so all this was built in the past 25 years. So amazing changes.
So as a local host, tell me what it's like when you meet a guest, say at the main train station, at the Bahnhof.
Yeah, well, we are always on the platform, and we have to see where the first class is, because sometimes they're in the front, sometimes they're at the back. So please do not leave the platform unless you see me. I always have a sign here with monograms. I'm not so tall, but my sign is quite big. Yeah.
Right.
So then I always, only once I missed some people because they didn't look for me. Yeah.
And then what happens next? So you're there to give them that nice, smooth transition from arriving in the city to enjoying their holiday here. So
Right.
so what types of tips do you give them and information?
Well, we always go to the hotel first, check in, and then I have my first meeting. And I have to find out, because everybody has got different interests, so I have to find out who has which interests. You know, some like shopping, some others like museums, and we have many good shops and many good museums. So we give them a frame for the holiday, and then we make them a tailored holiday. So some people like to go to the Pagan Museum, which unfortunately is closed for the next 5 years.
Okay.
And some others want to see Nefertiti, and some other wants to see botanical gardens or the zoo or shopping or boat cruises and so on. So we have a welcome letter, a destination guide, and gives them a lot of ideas. Also, which good restaurants with different tastes and so on. Yeah.
So people arrive in Berlin. They have a few days in Berlin, and you could spend so much time here in this amazing
Right.
city. There must be some do not miss sites. I mean, I think one of right here, the Brandenburg Gate is one of those. Tell me a couple of more that people should not miss when they come to Berlin.
Yeah, well, you're right. This is the most famous building in Germany, not only in Berlin. And of course, everybody wants to see Checkpoint Charlie, which does not exist anymore, but it's still there, and we can tell them the history there. Then the more interesting part of Berlin is located here in the eastern half, because this is where Berlin originated.
Okay.
You know. So we have most of the historical buildings here in this area. Well, the Egyptian Museum is actually a must.
Really?
Because of Nefertiti, the most beautiful Berlin lady.
Okay.
And then we are going to rebuild our palace, which is to the Berlin Cathedral. And then we have also some pieces of the Berlin Wall left. So
Okay.
this is what they will all see on the sightseeing tour, which we will always do the next day.
Okay, so they have a sightseeing tour the next day that takes them around, gives them kind of a panoramic view of the city.
Right.
That's really a great transition, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for the time you spent here meeting us here and answering some questions about what it's like to be a local host and how people transition from the train station to their hotel or from the airport to their hotel and get their holiday started. And Bernd works with Monograms, and he's a local host. When you book your packages through Vacations by Rail, he may be the one to meet you here in Berlin.